Hello, everybody out there in podcast land. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. This episode is brought to you by Transfuse. Transfuse is the only all-natural electrolyte drink that you guys need to have in your cabinets. We love this stuff. We've been using this for an entire season now. This stuff is amazing. I feel great when I drink Transfuse. I drink it every single day. I don't go a day without putting a packet of Transfuse in my water. It's very easy, very portable, easy to travel with, and delicious to drink, which means that you're going to love drinking it and you're going to drink more of it, which is going to be incredibly beneficial to your health. Has magnesium, potassium, sodium, which are all amazing for proper hydration. It has zinc, vitamin C, vitamin B, and choline. These things are incredible cognitive enhancers and immune boosting formulas that you don't want to miss out on, especially in times like this. I'm telling you, I drink Transfuse every single day. I love it. Tyler does as well. Anybody who has tried it has been just pouring with great feedback back to us. There's a reason that they're at all the NXL events, and a lot of the top teams and top professionals are using this product. Do not walk around dehydrated. I never realized how dehydrated I was, even when I was drinking all sorts of water. It's not enough. You need the proper nutrition. You need the right ingredients. Transfuse has done a great job of curating the perfect formula. Transfuse is absolutely spectacular, and for all of our listeners, there is a special deal for any Play the Game listener. If you head over to translabs.com, that's TRANZLABS.com, and use code PLAYTHEGAME at checkout, you will get 10% off. If you subscribe, which means they auto ship you your package every single month, whatever you want, whatever type, whatever flavor, whatever electrolyte formula you desire, they will give you an additional 11% off. So it becomes a 21% discount exclusively for all Play the Game listeners. Huge shout out, and we are incredibly thankful for our supporters. And if you guys would like to go support them, it's translabs.com. Use code PLAYTHEGAME. We are brought to you by Heal Brand. Heal Brand is the best CBD company that we have ever come across. I've been taking CBD products for years now, and I absolutely love it. But Heal Brand has taken my CBD consumption level to the next tier. This stuff is really the luxurious, high-quality, best brand that you're going to come across. Their whole claim to fame is the nanotechnology. It's the real deal. The claim is that through their nanotechnology, the CBD can actually break through the cellular wall and get into the bloodstream much faster and more efficiently. So you need less to do more. Often CBD products, you'll need to take it for a couple weeks before you really start noticing all of the benefits. With this stuff, as soon as you take it, you notice it right away. Within 15, 20 minutes, you're feeling the benefits of CBD. CBD is great for inflammation, anxiety, sleeping, all sorts of different stuff. CBD is really exploding on the scene because it has such a wide variety of benefits. I personally love to use CBD before I go to bed so I can get a full, well-rested night of sleep. Sleep is so crucial. It's so important. If you want to recover well, if you want to fight off depression and anxiety and those unwanted emotions, proper sleep is where you need to start. CBD products really help me do that, and Heal Brand CBD has a wide variety of options of different products, different formulas. It is all natural. It's amazing. This stuff is fantastic. You guys can head over to healbrand.com, check them out, and there is an exclusive offer to all of our PTG listeners. If you use code PLAYTHEGAME at checkout, you'll get 10% off. This episode is brought to you by G2 Paintball. G2 Paintball is a paintball athletics company designed to make you a better paintball athlete. If you guys haven't heard about G2, you need to go over to g2paintball.com right now and figure out how you can become better at your craft. The Dynasty guys, all of us, we went out to Arizona and did an intense 3-day G2 training before World Cup, and we think that it really paid dividends and helped us go the extra distance. When we were running deep into the tournament, we were well prepared. G2 Paintball is unlike any other paintball company because they are geared around making you a better paintball athlete. So often I see players training in ways that are not going to help them be more functional and agile on the paintball field. In paintball, you have very specific movements that are hard to train for. G2 Paintball has done a great job of customizing a training program to make it so that you can maximize your abilities on the paintball field. G2 Paintball has also recently partnered up with the Paintball Combine. We're going to be out there in Arizona. Ryan Greenspan, myself, Tyler Harmon, Rusty Glaze, many, many more out there at the Paintball Combine in Arizona. If you guys are in the area, this is your chance to come to the Combine, showcase what you got. You know, everyone says they want to go pro. Well, here's your chance to get seen by all of the pro players and to put your skills to the test and be actually recorded on the national and global level. Do not miss this opportunity. You guys can head over to g2paintball.com to learn more about G2. Head over to paintballcombine.com, learn more about the Paintball Combine. If you guys are in the area, do not miss this event. All right, everybody. We have an amazing guest on today, Mr. James Krause, a UFC champion, professional mixed martial artist, a total dominator in his sport, businessman, entrepreneur. James just has a great outlook on life. He really has a lot of very valuable insight as to what you guys could be doing to pursue your dreams, pursue your careers, whatever it is that you are doing. It's all the same. If you want to be good at something, you have to put in the work. And this man is no stranger to work, dedication, and perseverance. So without further ado, we're going to hop in the show. We'll see you soon.
That was an insane inside move by Marcelo Margot. Great communication. And the crowd starts chanting Harmon. Great shot by all the guys. So Tyler Harmon saved that game. He came out with 2 wins. Marcelo Margot was on fire.
James Krause, my man, dude, professional mixed martial artist, UFC dominator as of late. How's it going, man? Welcome to the show.
Man, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Stoked to be here.
Absolutely, dude. Oh, the honor's all ours. We've been like really researching you. You're a badass, man. It's been cool to see what you've done in your industry. Fighting is so amazing. I grew up in Modesto, California with a bunch of fighters. Shout out to Dynamic Mixed Martial Arts out there in the Central Valley. And it's really cool because I always think that fighting kind of goes hand in hand with paintball and the different styles and the training and everything. So it's cool to pick your brain.
Yeah, I mean, it's all the any type of like competitive sports can all be related in some way, right? I mean, I'm sure there's like you said, different styles, different strategies, all kinds of stuff. See, I don't really know paintball too much, but I just at face value, I got to think there's a bunch of different ways to attack, defend, different things that you can do. So yeah, for sure, I'm sure there's some definite correlation, right? We're all kind of going to it's all war principles, right?
That's
like,
it.
Totally.
That's right.
Yeah, no, 100%. I've loved mixed martial arts from a young age. I did Taekwondo when I was a kid. I was in mixed martial arts when I was a little bit older, did some Muay Thai, Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, things like that at a pretty amateur level. But I've always done the same thing. I've always related a lot of that to paintball. You know, we have what's called like the gunfight, where you engage in a very fast-paced, rhythmic motion with your opponent. And it's much like boxing or kickboxing, you know, to where you're sending out paint, like sending a right hook, and you really have to feel the flow of your opponent. And that's all part of it. There's, you know, it's a very technical game, but there's a lot of theory and logic that's going on as well, where you're trying to outthink and outsmart your opponent.
Definitely. Like if you don't, I'm guessing, I don't know your industry, but I'm guessing like there's so much more going on than what's at face value. There's so many little details that separate the high level guys from the casualists.
Totally. Just like you guys, you know what I mean? At your level, when you're fighting, it's like a dance. You know, you're feeling out the opponent, you're trying to outsmart them and just be wittier, you know?
Yeah, it's except when you mess up, you get punched.
Yeah, exactly. Right. We have like a little bit of response where we get shot with the paintball and it hurts a little bit, but no, your guys' sport is much more dire response. 100%.
Yeah.
So you make a mistake, you get a little punished over there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean,
you learn quick that way though, right? You learn quick.
Yeah. Or you got to toughen up. One of the two.
Yeah. True.
One of the two.
That's right.
Yeah. So how'd you get into mixed martial arts, man? How did your love for that transpire? When did that come about?
It's kind of a weird story. I had a friend, like I grew up, I liked wrestling around. I wrestled for the high school for like 2 years. I wasn't very good. I had a friend that was starting to fight, because back when I started, I'm almost 15 years in now. So
there we go.
Yeah, back when I started, it was like you're just fighting. There wasn't a lot of like training. I was kind of one of the first ones in my area to really start doing it full time, training every day. And because I mean, God, I didn't want to get beat up, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Some of these guys that go fight, like they just don't have any shame. They don't train, and they go in and it's like they're good with getting beat up or hit. And like, that's not me. You know what I mean? Like if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to get shot with a paintball. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I'm not none of
100%.
that. I'm trying to win. I want to
That's
win.
right.
So
That's it.
I had a friend that was doing it, and he kind of talked me into it. So I finally one day I showed up, and he ended up. I called him on. I said, "Hey man, I'm here." And he's like, "Man, I'm sorry, I took a job. Yesterday was my last day." So the guy that got me into it, I still to this day never trained with him.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. So I just kind of I showed up to the gym, and I fell in love with it, and I really like the. There's so much going on, similar to paintball. Like there's physical battles, right? Like I'm sure with you guys, there's guys that are out of shape, and
Yeah.
if you just got to withstand the onslaught for a minute, and they'll tire after a little bit, and you can move in. There's guys that are technically sound, right, but maybe physically they're not there, or mentally they're not there. And then there's guys that are mental monsters, and they're not very technical, but they're physical. There's just so many like little chess pieces going on at once.
Absolutely.
That I really appreciate the game. I like the weight classes. I was always smaller. When I started, I was smaller, and I like being able to beat people physically, mentally, technically. Like I can switch to those. I can navigate. It's not just there's one way to win. There's a lot of different ways to win, and for me, it's just it's a beautiful game to play.
I love that, man. And they call you the any weight champ. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter where he's coming at you from. He'll knock you out, boy.
100%.
Yeah, it's,
actually, you're real quick. Like your record speaks to that, man, which is so cool. 28-8, 8 KOs, 14 submissions, and 6 decisions. You're very diverse in the way that you win, and that's awesome. You can do it all. And so what you just said, you have the stats and facts to back it up.
Yeah. I'm known for being a well-rounded fighter. And that anyway champ, I got that because I took a last minute fight on 24 hours notice, weight class.
Damn.
It's just something that most people don't do. But
I wanted to bring that up. I wanted to bring that up because actually I think this last year was a really good indication of how athletes treat their bodies. In paintball we had a lot of stuff got canceled. Obviously, around the world, events were getting canceled. I know with the fights, like you guys had to go to Abu Dhabi to have some fights. Like the UFC, Dana White, dude, that guy is just a legend. He's done an amazing job to keep the UFC, to even bring the UFC to where it is and then keep it going. He's just fantastic. But with that in paintball, we've had a lot of births of these different leagues and different events, and they're trying to get players to come and play last minute. And a lot of people turn that kind of stuff down, right? And you taking that fight last minute, that's almost unheard of in the UFC. A fighter wants time to prepare for what type of opponent they're going to be against. Is it a wrestler or someone who is a good striker? These are things that your team works on. Am I right? Like you need time for that.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. Typically you have 6 to 8 weeks to get ready. That's normal.
So to me, that's a testament to you, one, mentally, but two, it seems like you were just probably always prepared for whatever kind of fight you were going to get, and as an athlete, that's what you should.
I train full time, so I'm at the gym right now. As soon as I get off the thing with you, I'll jump into sessions immediately. So
there you go. Shout out to Missouri.
I train all the time.
That's where he's tapping in from. So shout out to Missouri. And your gym is Glory MMA and Fitness out there in Lee's Summit, Missouri.
Yep. So I train full time now. It's still not the same as being like fight ready, and being ready is not the same. Man, I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like I just don't. I'm down to fight somebody. If I'm never gonna run from a fight, and if it makes sense for me, I'll do it. I just
hell yeah.
Why not? You know what I mean? Like I'm a competitor, and I'm not. I feel like I've been in this game for a long time, and I feel like a lot of these younger guys coming in are a bunch of pussies. So like, I don't know if I can say that. I don't know if I can say that.
100% you can. No, we keep it extremely real on this show. I'll tell you what, we feel the same in paintball. There's so many similarities with the UFC and our sport. It's a reason we've always we try to model some of our events and the way we promote things because there are a lot of similarities. And it is funny if you look back, like UFC, like 20 years ago, there's no weight classes. Maybe it's longer now. I'm dating myself, but there's no weight classes of all sorts of different people. Like anyone could fight anyone. That's how paintball was. It was just so archaic in a way. People weren't training, people weren't taking it serious, but now people are, and we see a similar thing of people coming in, youngsters coming in that just don't have it mentally, is what it seems like, right?
Yeah. And I would like to think that I'm a fighter's fighter. You know what I mean? Like I don't back down from a challenge or anything. I don't care. I'm not out to pad my record, or you know what I mean? Like it's just not.
Okay.
it's not important to me. I don't want the casual fans appreciation. I want the fighters and the promoters and the hardcore fans appreciation. You know what I mean? Like that's
Dude,
what
respect.
I like that. Yeah.
yeah. So that stuff don't matter to me. My record doesn't matter to me. I'll fight.
Yeah.
You know, I fought some of the best guys in the world.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. You know, I don't.
I like
That's
I
what
don't
it's
wanna,
all
like, to shy
about, man.
away from it.
You got heart, you got passion, and that's what really matters.
Yeah. I live and breathe this sport every single day. So like if a challenge comes up like that, I'll take it. My last fight was on 12 days notice, and I won that one.
Dude.
So like,
Man.
you know, I don't.
There we
It's
go.
I
kind
don't
of
really, and I flew to Abu
intimidating.
Dhabi. I flew to
Yeah.
Abu Dhabi to that. You know what I mean? So I just don't really that stuff doesn't bother me. I'm down to fight. You know, I'm
Hell
not
yeah.
afraid of a fight.
And when someone steps in the ring with you, they know that, and that's intimidating to them. They're like, all right, this dude's coming for throat. You know, he's coming to knock me
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's different styles of play that, you know, can be intimidating for you guys. I'm sure like the
Sure.
aggressive nature, you know, there's some guys that attack.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some guys that defend. I'm sure it's a
That's
nice
right.
split. I would like to think that I'm a good even balance depending on who I'm competing against. I can counter punch, I can attack well, I have good cardio. You know,
Absolutely.
I'm defensively sound. Like I have various ways to win fights, and I think that's my biggest asset. And I would like to think the higher level guys in paintball have to be the same way to be able to adjust to whatever style they're playing.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
we play against like the Russian Legion, all the way from Russia. They come out and they're one of the nastiest attacking teams and just really mentally sound at the way they approach the game. And then you got teams like from Dallas. There's this team that'll slower pace, you know, and they try to outweight you and outshoot you. So you got to be ready to play all these different styles for sure.
Yeah, but the champions do it all. That's the thing.
That's
the
right.
champions know how to turn the switch and they address whatever's in front of them and they meet it with whatever pace needs to be played, you know, or fought with.
100%. And that's, you have to be anybody good in this sport has to be able to play all the different, and any sport, right? Like football, basketball, you got to be able to adjust and adapt it because there's teams that are physical. There's teams that are defensively sound. There's teams that, like you said, slow the pace down, high pace. Like I think my value is I can do whatever you want to do. I have the answer for it. And I'm known for having a high fight IQ. So I'm assuming that that's a thing for you guys as well, as, you know, the ability to adjust on the fly.
That's right. You're evaluating, you're making quick decisions, you're breaking down, you're crunching numbers in a fraction of a second so that you can come out on top and get those wins, you know?
Yeah, you guys aren't wrong. It's very similar.
Yeah, I love that, man. And I love the similarities. Even in my paintball stance, when I'm holding my marker, it's almost like a fighting stance. Yeah. When you're holding the gun. And then when I switch to left hand, because we have to be ambidextrous with our paintball gun. And same with you, you have to be ambidextrous as well. So it's very similar. And then when you get into a gunfight, you're rocking and, you know, it's kind of a similar little battle. Yeah.
I never thought about it like that, but that's you're not wrong.
It's very
true.
man.
You don't have to be ambidextrous in MMA. The new school guys are, you know what I mean? Like I can fight an entire fight in one stance or the other. It doesn't matter to me. I switch all the time. I switch 50 plus times around. So it doesn't matter to me. But some guys, a lot of the older school guys can't. They stay one hand dominant. And I'm assuming if you stay one hand dominant in your sport, it causes a lot of holes, right?
Yeah, it does, man. Because you have to swing your whole body across yourself and it's really uncomfortable. And then you like leave a portion of your body hanging out. So it's easier to get shot that way if you don't switch. Yeah.
You're more exposed. You leave yourself more vulnerable when you're not as technically sound as the up and coming players, fighters. Like that's what it is. You know, it's the evolution of these sports, which is fascinating. Russian Legion, the team that he was speaking to, they're kind of known for being the most technical team there is because they have a facility in Russia where they're the only pros that are able to get to a field 7 days a week. A lot of them live there and train 7 days a week. Whereas paintball is, you know, it's a unique sport to where the top athletes aren't making a ton of money. So a lot of us have other jobs. We have other things going on. So we train as much as we can. We're in the gym, but it's hard to get access to one, a paintball field, and two, be out there every single day. So much more of the mental side of the game comes into play for us, right? Where we can spend as much time during the week watching film. I'm sure I would love to pick your mind on watching film and breaking down fighters that you're gonna fight against, because watching film is one of the biggest things for us, is making sure that we are mentally prepared for when we have the opportunity to be at the field and train or compete.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all we're talking about are war tactics, right? Like these are all just war tactics.
Sure.
It's all the same thing. My sport is frontline war tactics. Yours is mid-range, war tactics. So
hey, sometimes it's frontline though. We get in each other's face.
I mean, I mean, it really can be, but it's all war tactics. I mean, if any combat style sport is going to be able to tell you kind of what's going on, how to adjust to it, all that stuff. But on watching film and stuff like that is one of my favorite things to do.
Me too, dude.
You know, I think just the ability to break people. There's something about that to me, is like the ability to break somebody down, what they're good at, what they're not good at, you know, like holes in their game, different ways that they react according to how you, you know, what your style is. And if you can anticipate what's coming, it's a lot easier to form a plan if you know what they're going to do. So I'm sure it's the same with you guys, right? It's very easy to if you force them to go to the left, you know what the options to the left are going to be. You know, you break it down to where there's, you know, 2 or 3 doors that they got to walk through, and you know which ones are going to be.
That's it, dude. And I'm sure you film yourself as well when you're training. You know, I'm sure you're critiquing yourself, and we like to do that as well. We have a guy, Victor, shout out to Victor, who helps us out, and he films us and makes sure that we are able to have film and really break down what we're doing. Because sometimes when you're playing or you're fighting, you don't really have that time to critique yourself in those moments. So it's good to have that video.
Do you guys have this is kind of, I've always wondered this. Do you guys have like a sideline coach while you guys are doing that?
We used to. So back in the day, you used to be able to communicate from the sidelines and tell the players what's going on and like what to do. We eliminated
which you guys
that.
have. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Which you guys do have, right? You know, you have coaches that are giving you direction and advice throughout a match. We eliminated that. And I actually love that we did eliminate it, because the game of paintball, unlike a fight, right? When you're fighting, you can visibly see your opponent and everything that he's doing. In paintball, you can't see your opponents. They're hidden behind bunkers. So if somebody makes a good move, it's kind of unfortunate to allow an outside perspective to just give away that good move, you know? And so
when you say you eliminated it, you mean you eliminated it from your team or the whole league?
Right. So when you have in paintball, when you have outside coaching, if somebody makes a good move that a player on the field doesn't see, because in the game of paintball, you know, you have all these obstacles that you're hiding behind. So, you know, moves are rewarded when they're not seen. So a really smart, really high IQ player can see where people are shooting, right? They can kind of visualize the other team, and they could make a run that is kind of, you know, down the center of the field or down the tape and split the guns and make a really big explosive play. But if there's a sidelines coach, he could just be like, hey, shoot towards the center. And that removes so much of the mental aspect of our game. So we've decided to remove the sideline coaching.
No, I get it. I thought you meant that only your team did. I was like, oh man, that's a massive disadvantage.
No. Sorry.
The playing field's level. That's
of course.
So, but like, let me ask you this: Does somebody on your team, like, do you guys ever have? I don't know how it works, but does like somebody sit back ever and look at? Are you guys able to communicate through earpieces, or is it just on field you're yelling?
So it's funny, man. We've been pushing for having some sort of earpiece, but the league's concern with that is that you're gonna have some cheating, right? You have someone sitting in the stands that's like wired in. I feel like we have good enough technology to get beyond that. But yes, so that's kind of my position. I typically play a more back position in the start of the game. I communicate to the team. It's like a quarterbacking spot, right? I see how the game is breaking down, and I assess how things need to be done. Tyler's a little bit in that position. He's a little more of an attacker, though. A little more of a weapon.
Are you guys on the same team?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we play for San Diego Dynasty. You got to check us out after this.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, we're going to get you to a paintball field and play some paintball and have some fun.
Let's go.
100%. Yeah, that'd be tight.
Let's go.
Again, we also know there are a lot of paintball players that train mixed martial arts, love mixed martial arts. So I really hope we have some people in your area that come check out your gym. Check you out too, man. That's fantastic. Support it for sure. A lot of paintball players are into jiu-jitsu, which is what you specialize in training. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at jiu-jitsu. Yeah.
Love it.
He's being modest. But I'll
Yeah.
bet you that when you step out there, you're going to be pretty damn good at paintball just because of your IQ as a fighter, and it translates so well onto the paintball field. Like you'd be
Yeah.
surprised.
I know I got to think that I would be better than the average person. Like not, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
not
totally.
if you take me and some other guy off the street, I got to think that my, once again,
Yeah.
war tactics, these are all principle based ideas, right? So
That's
like,
right.
I got to think that it's all
Yeah.
Shoot him
fairly
before he
similar.
shoots me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hit and don't get hit.
Hit and don't
Yeah.
get hit. Exactly.
Dude, that's so tight.
That's it.
It's such an honor to pick your brain, dude, because
Yeah.
we've wanted to do this. We've had this show through 2020 when things got kind of crazy. We started this, and this is just a dream come true to pick such an amazing fighter's brain on
Nah.
everything with paintball.
I'm easy to get a hold of. Y'all can hit me up anytime. Man. I'm
Hey.
not hard to find.
There we go. Love that.
Cool, man.
And like I said, we're going to follow through and make sure that at some point we get it out to the paintball field, or if there's
Let's
a
go.
tournament in the area, we'll get you involved.
I'm out that way a lot. I'm in Vegas almost every weekend. So if you
There we
guys are out
go.
there, you let me know.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
All
dude.
right. Well, what are you doing out in Vegas every weekend? If you don't mind me asking.
There's
that
fights.
what?
I coach.
Fights,
I
okay.
coach too. So I'll
Gotcha.
be out there every week from February 9th all the way almost to the end of March. So
Wow.
I'll come back. I usually go Tuesday to Saturday, and I fly home on Sunday, and then I leave again on Tuesday.
Cool.
That's
Awesome.
amazing. Yeah, that's actually another similarity in the fighting world and in paintball, right? And
Yeah.
this is why, like I sent you a message on your Instagram. I love how involved you are with the business side of.
Yeah.
It may not necessarily be tied to your sport in some of the stuff that you do, but it's all from your sport, right? As far as investing,
100%.
things, yeah. And in paintball, it's the same thing. So we do a lot of coaching as well. So when we're not competing, I fly, we both do all over the world to coach teams in different leagues. We host clinics at different fields across the world where
Nice.
like 30, 40 people will come out and play. It's a lot of just making it work as a professional paintball player, right? Because the salary for being a professional paintball player is very modest. It's
Sure.
not going to pay all the bills and help you raise a family. You got to find ways to monetize the game in other aspects. And that's what I really admired about you from the brief things that I saw. Like, it seems like you're absolutely doing that with fighting, maximizing every opportunity there. And so we do want to pick your brain about that. We'll get into that for sure. But what has made you become a young entrepreneur in that, like that's, that's what you do.
The answer is pretty simple. I was broke as shit growing up, and I don't ever want to do that again. No, I was, my mom and I were extremely poor growing up. And I've lived the majority of my life, not having the things I want. And I knew when I got into the UFC, I've made some mistakes, you know what I mean? Like I've before I got into the UFC, I made a little bit of money outside of it, and like I pissed it away. And I remember looking at my account one time, and I just fought for like $10,000 or something like that, which at the time was the largest payday I ever had.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at my account, and I had like $1,700 a few months later, and like, what the fuck did I do with that? And I had this like feeling in my stomach. I was sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
I had no idea what I did with this money. Like, and I ate it pretty much, Like we went out to eat and whatever. But, now, I've spent the majority of my life, being poor, and man, life without money is hard, and life with money is hard.
Facts.
They're both hard.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like, so why should I be poor whenever I can have a little bit of money? And for me, it's about freedom. It's about freedom. I don't, I've never liked working for other people, and I would rather be broke doing what I want to do than have a lot of money working for somebody else. So for me, the financial freedom to be able to come and go as I please, and I don't really want to go anywhere. I love what I do every day. So like, dude, I don't work a day in my life, man.
That's right.
But I want the option to go do what I want to do, so if I want to get on a plane and go to Cancun today, I can, you know what I mean? It's not a problem. But I enjoy that hustle, man. I enjoy, I'm really big into real estate. I'm really big into, finances. I'm about to drop a financial literacy course here pretty soon.
Nice.
A lot of pro fighters just, they don't understand money. Cause I mean, majority of fighters come from low income housing and broken families, you know, like,
Yeah.
so, I mean, why the fuck, what else would you fight? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
why else would you fight? It's because you're poor and your family's shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
those are the reasons why people fight. So,
dude,
most of the
you're
fighters
amazing,
come
man.
from
Yeah.
that kind of neighborhood, you know?
Yeah. And what like, obviously, you know, God bless you. First of all, I just want to reiterate that, because a lot of people would give up or would not choose to, you know, make the right decisions, and you obviously have. So that's amazing.
I made
You
a
know?
lot of wrong decisions too, man.
Yeah.
And I have given up. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, but what does
Yeah.
that even? What is that? What's the lady's name? Barbara Corcoran from Shark Tank. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So she came to Kansas City one time, and
Mhm.
she did a free talk. And at the time, I had no idea, but I was like, man, this, you know, millionaire, multimillionaire,
Yeah.
is coming to do a free talk. I got to go to this thing.
Of course.
And at the time, I didn't know, but looking back on it, it was just a thing for her to sell her book. And I don't remember.
Well, hey,
anything.
real quick. Yes, but it doesn't mean it's not still incredibly informative, right?
100%.
Yeah, 100%. I just want to throw it out there.
100%.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
that
no,
going on. People they
100%.
have something they're trying to sell, but you could still gain from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just listening to the mindset. That's
Yeah.
what it all is. It's mindset. Right?
Totally.
It's
Yeah.
just it's mindset. But
Mhm.
one thing that she said, and I'll never forget. I don't remember anything that she said
Mhm.
in this entire damn thing, other than this one thing I'm about to say. She said, as far as I can tell, the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is the amount of time it takes them to get over adversity.
Mm.
So, for example, if I lose a fight,
Mhm.
before I would take, 3 months and feel sorry for myself and pout and bitch and
Mhm.
complain and whatever. And I lost that 3 months of my life
Yeah.
because I was unproductive, I was uninspired, I was unmotivated. Now I am unfazed by that,
Yeah.
because I know that if I get over it now, I will have gained 3 months of productiveness, inspiration, production,
Mhm.
drive, inspiration. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Powerful.
so you're gonna get over it. You're gonna get over it. So why get over it 3 months from now? And I coach a lot of fighters, and I tell my guys, listen, you can go laugh or cry. You have the weekend to laugh or cry. On Monday, we get back to work no matter what. You win, knock out 10 seconds, you're back to work on Monday. You lose, get knocked out in 10 seconds, we're back to work on Monday. You get the weekend to cry or laugh, and
Yeah.
then we're back to work on Monday. So it's, you're gonna get over it. Why not get over it now?
That's so valuable, dude. That's so amazing.
I
Yeah.
love that. It's the typical thing for an athlete. It even translates into the actual moment of when you're actually competing too. You need to have that short memory, you know?
Absolutely.
You get a couple misses, couple right hooks to the chin, and you're still
Yeah.
up. Like, you got to keep moving forward. You can't be worried about that. You can't let that creep in and create doubt, and in
Mhm.
paintball, it's a very similar thing. Like, you go down a couple points, you have to be able to forget that. If you make a bad move, you have to be able to forget that in a productive way. You should always learn from these mistakes and throughout the process, but you can't dwell on these mistakes, man. You just can't. You
No.
can't, because it's paralyzing, right? That type
Well,
of
it's not gonna help you.
it doesn't help
Yeah.
you. Exactly. It's
Yeah.
paralyzing. You sit there, you're just
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, it's not
paralyzing.
going to help you at all. So what's the once again, what's the point?
Yeah.
You might as well just stand out in the middle and get shot, because
Yeah.
there's no point in, if
Exactly.
it's not being productive to you, why the fuck are we talking about it then? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
That's it.
why are you, if that's going to bother you, and I'm assuming it's the same with you guys, but in my industry, the young guys, you said this earlier, they're kind of just mentally, they're not as sound, so
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
you get down a little early, it kind of shakes them, you know what I mean?
Totally.
And
Yeah.
the vets, are known for that. Like, they don't get shook easily, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Right.
their
Mhm.
sound, we have a rule in my gym, I call it the 501 rule, because the rounds are 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And when I fight a young kid, they may be younger than me, faster, more explosive, whatever, and they bring that energy for 5 minutes, and you bring that for 5 minutes, but at 501, when I don't go away and I'm still here, you better be ready, because I'm coming for that ass. You know what I mean? Like,
That's right.
I
I'm not
like
going
that.
anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
not going anywhere. You're gonna have to
Yeah.
get me out of there in 5
Yeah.
minutes, because I'm not going anywhere. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's the same for you guys. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You better get
That's
me out
right.
of there early, because I'm not going anywhere. And I've been doing this long enough to know, like, if I just keep plugging, some of these guys will quit. They'll find a way out. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I don't have to beat them. I have to beat their mind. You know what I mean? If you and I are next to a bear, I don't have to outrun the bear. I got to outrun you.
That's
different.
right. Dude, that's so gold. And the similarities are spot on with paintball, dude. Like seriously, we win sometimes just by mental tenacity, just by outlasting, you know what I'm saying?
Not going anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Like some of the guys will find ways to lose.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, there'll be guys, like we have so many guys in our industry that are like just fucking monsters, man. They're monsters, but they find ways to lose. Like it's almost like they're trying to lose. And like if you just sit around, play tight, that anxiety of you still being there gets to them, and they'll find a way out. They'll, you know what I mean? One way or another, they'll find a way to lose.
You could you could probably step in and coach a professional paintball.
Yeah.
I mean that. And it's a slight knock to some of the teams in the division, but it's also major accolades to the similarities of what it takes to be what you do, championship.
War tactics.
Like that is something that a lot of the teams, and it's funny, you can reach the professional ranks and still not understand that part of it. And to me, it's crazy. And it comes from the leadership from top to bottom, right? Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's fascinating, man. And there are so many similarities there. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many ways to win, right? Technically, physically, mentally, emotionally. Like, you got to have all that shit together. If you guys don't have your shit together, I mean, there's the chink in the armor, and you can find it. And the guys that just they're unfazed by getting hit, or they're unfazed by getting down a point, or they're unfazed by you just sitting around, like they're good being in the trenches. You know what I mean? Like they're good with that. Like I'm okay being in a fight. It does not bother me. Like I've been in many, you know what I mean? Like I'm not scared to be in a fight. I'm not scared to get hit. I'm not scared to get bloody. I'm not scared to be in a dogfight. I've been in many of them, you know what I mean? And like, I'm assuming from what, you know, the little research that I've done is you guys are very similar. You're very well-rounded. You've been doing this for a long time, and you're unfazed by anything that's in front of you.
You have to be.
You have to be. That's it. Because like you said, once they find that little opening in the armor, it's lights out. You know what I mean? And then it's over. Yeah.
And not only that, you've now set a blueprint for the rest of the teams to whoop your ass.
Yes. Yeah.
100%.
And everybody's watching.
We see it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see it all the time in our industry. One guy gets beat. He's on a streak, and he gets beat, and he gets beat again and again and again because he can't change. The blueprint's been laid, and then now the blueprint's been laid, so you have to go back and fix that gap. You know what I mean? Yes. And some guys they have too much of an ego to understand that they have an issue, and they need to go back to the drawing board and figure that out. But I mean, how many times have you guys been like, all right, this team is extremely weak on this side, and you just expose them. And then if I watch that, I'm like, well, shit, if they can do it, I'm going to the right side too. You know what I mean?
That is what we do when we watch film. That's exactly what we look for. We're like, okay, so this team had success over here. They didn't have success over here. So let's strengthen this spot, but win down this side. It's again, you're right. War tact is very simple, you know?
Yep.
Hey, I want to pick your brain on just being in the UFC with that energy and the rush it gives you. What is that like, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you mean like when I actually fight?
Yeah, dude. The big shows, like the energy that's going on, it's got to be just nuts.
Yeah. I mean, it is. It's pretty crazy. Like the process is very, it's not for the weak of heart. You know what I mean? Like you have to be mentally tough to be there. And, I definitely feel like it, especially when the crowds are there and stuff, like the energy is pretty crazy, man. But for me, this sport has made me into a man. You know what I mean? When I got into the sport, I was a kid, and this sport has hardened me. It's the highest highs and the lowest lows, because it's like, if you're in the NBA, I lost the game.
Right.
You know, NFL, I lost the game. If I lose, it's not I lost the game, it's I got fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got beat up. So
for real.
And really, like, if you stop and think about it, like, fighting is the most primitive thing that you can do. It's like, you can say, listen, I'm better at paintball. Well, I'm faster. I'm stronger. I got more money. You got this. We got my girlfriend's heart, whatever. We can go back and forth, but it stops at, I can beat you up. It does. You can't go, you know what I mean? Like, it stops at that, you know, there's that's the end of the road. Like, you can't, you don't have to come back to that. I can beat you up, and there's nothing else you can do that tops that. You can have more win. Cool. I can still beat you up. What are you gonna do about it? You know what I mean? Like, it stops at that. So whenever that gets attacked as a man, you know,
That's
you
serious
lost.
business. Yeah.
Yeah, you lost. You've been beaten. You know what I mean? Like
Dude.
if you guys, if you guys lose or whatever, it's like,
Yeah.
I got a nicer car than them. Fuck them. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but when I lose, it's like, fuck. I don't
Yeah.
have any. You know what I mean? Like I can't
Yeah,
say that.
yeah,
I,
for
I
sure.
lost. It's the end of the road, end of the line.
That's kind of ingrained into our DNA through
Yeah.
evolution, man, because that's what it is.
100%.
Can you protect your family? Can you protect your loved ones, your tribe?
Survival.
Survival. Like that is definitely encoded in our DNA to be the end all be all. Like if you can't do that, what can you do? That's something that deep down we all have in us.
Yeah, and listen, like, especially going back to the war tactics thing, like, man, I got to think that there's something like, I just fucking killed you. You know what I mean? What are you gonna do? Like, I shot with fuck. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's such a primitive thought process, especially for men. I think, you know what I mean? Because like we want to be the top dog, alpha, in everything that we do, especially when it comes to combat.
Yes.
War related items, MMA, any shooting, any type of war situation. You want to be the best at it because that means if shit hits the fan, I'm going to be one of the last guys here. You know what I mean? Man. And like, if you get beat by that, it hurts you here. It doesn't hurt here. It's here.
100%.
And he's for everybody on the podcast, he's tapping his heart. He's like, it hurts you in the heart, not so much in the brain. And you're right, dude. And it's so cool that you're talking about this, because I've always thought about this as well with paintball. Like you said, it's like, it's the sport of war. We're shooting paintball guns at each other. And what runs our world is governments and wars and all these things. And it all kind of comes back to this encoded thing in our DNA where it's like, I need to be really good at this so that I can protect my family, protect my
I could kill you if I want to.
And be able to have that on you to be able to present at any time, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and it's crazy to think about that, because it really is like, it's got to be pretty awesome to know that if you're in a gunfight, you're probably one of the most prepared people on this planet that would win, that.
I mean, the military for decades has come out to professional events and they try to recruit really any paintball player, because there's so much about the tactics, the way we limit our exposure. I mean, all sorts of stuff that does actually translate to that, in a high profile way. So
Of course. I do think that's what it is.
Yeah, it is 100%. Hit and don't get hit.
It's war tactics. You guys are masters at war tactics. Yeah.
Real war is the ultimate game of hit and don't get hit.
Yeah. Exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And you're a master too, obviously. Like, it's funny that we both come from these, they're different, but they're kind of the same, where it's like hit and don't get hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And man, I know some of the guys, like I have a couple of friends that are like, I have a guy that does like, he's a military guy.
Tight.
And he does, he's like a blue and purple belt in jiu-jitsu. He's got really good jiu-jitsu. He's fought 10, 15 amateur fights, and he's a combatives instructor. He's done, and that, to me, that guy is like, if shit hits the fan, he's the first person I call.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, dude, I'm calling you, because not only like, if we go hand to hand combat, like I'll beat him up, and he's a heavyweight, like I'll still get him. Yeah. But man, if we're bringing in firearms, there's not a guy that I would rather, you know what I mean? Like, there's not a guy I'd rather have on my team than him.
We got some of those in paintball too, where we're like, we're going to Montana. Shout out to the Paxson family. We'll be up there. They got a big old ranch, everything you need for Apocalypse Day.
That's it. And my dad, it's funny, like, my dad grew up in Davenport, Iowa, in the Quad Cities area out there.
Yeah.
I got a lot of family out there, and when he was growing up, he was a fighter, and that's just kind of what they did. They had like these underground fight clubs where it was just like, if I see you on the street, it's on site, and then after we can have a beer together, but we're gonna tussle and then see who's the strongest man. And that's kind of like you said, like encoded in our DNA.
Yeah, it's and man, it's people like I've already done 5. Like I grappled 5 live rounds earlier, and
damn,
in about an hour and a half, I'm gonna spar 5-minute rounds. So like I do this every day, man. This is what I do every single day. I put probably 50 plus live rounds in a week.
It's some of the best physical, some of the best physical training you can do.
100%.
When I was training, it was tougher than football practice, any sort of physical training I've put myself through for paintball, you name it, anything that I've done, playing basketball.
Yep.
Mixed martial arts is the toughest type of training you can do, in my opinion, because it takes every muscle, it takes every part of your body. It's so
I don't think there's
physically
any more.
demanding.
I don't think there's another more functional type of training on
Yeah.
planet Earth. Like people ask
I
me, like,
agree.
do I lift? Yes.
Mhm.
Well, what do you lift? People
People.
that are trying not to
Right.
get lifted.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
that's like what, and we have, you know, like you have like a CrossFitter. They're some of the best athletes in the world, but
Yeah.
like, how much can you lift when an arm's wrapped around your neck? You know what I mean? Like that's it's in terms of functionality. In my opinion, there's no better thing than MMA or jiu-jitsu. MMA probably, you know what I mean? Like just because it's a complete game.
Yeah. I agree, man.
In the world.
Yeah. For even like getting ready for paintball tournaments, I would go to that dojo and like do their fighter fit thing and do like just little things that they do in there. And it would make me more sound on the paintball field. It just really gets you ready for war. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
100%, man. That's
It's amazing.
do you guys, what type of like, there's got to be some type of like mental aspect, like even like outside of like watching film. Is there, this might be so stupid to ask, but like, do you guys like warm up? Do you guys, you know what I mean? Like, do you run through different scenarios beforehand? Like, what do you guys do?
Dude, real quick, Ty, I've got a little response for this because it's something that we've been pushing for a long time. They need to have some sort of area where you can go and actually shoot your gun against like teammates to warm up. That would be sweet.
Yeah.
If you could actually get some sparring in before.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't. Like when we're at tournaments, we have to make our warm up fit to this whatever area. I would like to say a little grass area, but sometimes there's not even a grass area for us. We have to do whatever we can. So we'll take the team, we go and make sure we get a really good jog in. We like to do some dynamic stretching and exercises to where we get into some functional movements that we're going to be doing on the paintball field. And then we just kind of, you want to come together and do some breathing exercises. Like breathing is, I'm sure, something that you utilize as well. Breathing is so crucial in pretty much everything you do. And during those is when you get your visualization going of how the match is going to go, what the first couple plays are, how we're going to execute them.
You guys call plays, and that was my next question.
Yes.
You guys have plays?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, we have a whole book. We have our coach is also on the sidelines who comes with us to the practices, to the events, and is critiquing us, making little alterations to the lineups, to the way that we're going to attack the field. And if we see any tendencies that they're doing, how we're going to approach those. So we're always, we have at least like 4 or 5 plays in the playbook, and then we can make another, 6 to 9 plays out of those 4 or 5, just on these little detail moves and changing the game that way.
Smart.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about like football, how, like calling audibles and stuff like that, how they do such a great job coding.
Totally.
What is what?
Yeah. So
that's so true.
Yeah. A lot of this stuff comes down to, so the way paintball works is at each major event, they'll release a field layout. So the layout is where the bunkers are placed for that given tournament. So it changes every event, right? So the strategy changes every tournament. Sometimes this side of the field is really powerful. Sometimes the other side of the field is really powerful. You have to find ways to break that down. So a lot of this comes down to watching film the nights before in those meetings. And we meet as a team. We say, okay, we're going to be playing these teams, X, Y, and Z. These are probably the best plays to use against them. How do we want to lay these out? And in the game, also in like fighting, you lead someone with a couple jabs, then it opens up a nice right hook. It's a similar thing. It's like, okay, let's run really far we call this bunker on the field the snake. It goes from one end of the field pretty much to the other. It's like a lay down bunker. You send your most aggressive guys there. So they run, they dive in, and they try to gunfight down the wire, crawl down, because if they get all the way down, they get really rewarded. They come up and they usually have a bunch of bodies cross field. So, maybe we send a couple plays where we're going hard that way. And then the next play, we go really short on that side and go really far down the other side, So the other team's focus shifts to our snake side. They say, oh, we're getting beat up over here. Now we have to focus, on stopping this. And as soon as they do that, boom, we're hitting somewhere else.
Yeah.
So the play calling is very crucial. Absolutely.
It's all the same shit, man.
Yeah,
it's all the same
100%.
stuff.
Same with you. I'm sure you're doing the same thing. You're hitting, hitting these certain areas, drawing the attention there, boom, hit them somewhere else and trying to play that game.
Yeah, it's all the same.
Yeah,
all the same stuff, man.
For
all
sure,
the same
it
stuff.
is
Very, 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 very similar.
Yeah,
war tactics. Yeah,
that's it, dude.
Totally.
Hey, I want to pick your brain on the amazing things that you've done outside of fighting. You know, you're really smart when it comes to business, and you're helping a lot of people. So I want to kind of dig into that a little bit. I know that I looked at your Wikipedia page, shout out to Wikipedia, and you know, you're involved with like Metro PCS, and you also are a part owner of, I believe, if this is not correct, let me know, Kansas City Fighting Alliance. Are you still involved with that?
Yeah, it's since transitioned to Fighting Alliance Championship. It's on UFC Fight Pass, their
Nice.
network now. So
Wow.
yeah, I just do a lot of I do a lot of different stuff outside of
Yeah.
fighting, man. Like fighting to me is not a it's
Mhm.
not a I don't say it's not a career, because it's just
Yeah.
like any professional sport. Like
Kind of like us.
yeah,
It's
like
very similar.
nobody says, hey, I'm going to go to the NFL and I'm going to make that money in the NFL. And I'm going to live off of it forever. It doesn't
Yeah.
work like that. That's why 78% of all NFL players are broke within 2 years
Exactly.
after
Yep.
they leave.
100%.
It's you got to make money and then make that money make money.
Yes,
Right? Like that's
totally.
what it is. So I don't ever feel like there's any job security. And this is not a shot on my employer by any means, but
Mhm.
these contracts aren't made for me. They're made for the benefit of them. They can cut me right now if they want. You know what I mean?
right.
I've won like 7 out of my last 8 fights. Like they can cut me whenever they want. I'm expendable. And I
Yeah.
know that. But you know, I do this for me. Like I do what's best for me and my career and my family, you know, my financial whatever. Like I put myself in a position where I don't have to fight. So like these
Yeah.
guys, a lot of times the UFC will, and it's not, this is what it is. They'll offer fights and these guys feel like they're obligated to take these fights because they don't
Oh.
have money and they don't have a means to support their family. So they feel like
Mhm.
maybe they could take a fight on short notice to get the money or whatever. It's
Yeah.
just, man, it's
It's cutthroat in a
this
lot of
game is,
ways too, man.
it is,
Yeah.
but it's played this game. It's a game. This is a game.
Yeah.
Just like you guys are doing. It's a game. Life is a game. This is not,
Yeah.
it's a fucking game, man.
That's why we
And the
call
problem
this show.
is,
It's the
We
name of the
call the show
show.
Yeah.
Play the Game podcast.
but yeah, it's a game. And the problem with my sport is, and I'm gonna sound like a dick when I say this, but most of the people that play my game come
Mhm.
from broken families and low income, you know, low income housing. Like they're not smart people for the most part, right?
Mhm.
And I'm one of them,
Mhm.
but I have worked really hard to be in the know. You know what I mean? And it's
Well,
not
you're
that
pretty damn smart. You're a smart dude.
well, it's
But it was a lot of hard work. Like you did that, man. You know,
Yeah.
you went out and
I
you
don't have
decided
somebody
that's what you wanted to
teaching
be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have somebody teaching me. It's trial and error, and
Right.
dude, I work harder than 99.9% of the people of my peers. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's just the reality of it. Is I'm not better than them. I'm just doing more.
That's
right?
the X factor. That's what it's all about, dude.
Yeah.
That's it right there. You gotta wake up in the morning with some grit and with some, you know, some passion in your heart. Otherwise, you're gonna get passed up by the other dude that's doing that.
Yeah, I'm man, I just do more than these guys. That's the reality of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not, dude, I'm not athletically gifted.
Mm.
I'm not even
You're
technically
working.
gifted. I've been doing this for 15 years almost.
Yeah.
And I've just outworked most of these guys, and I don't quit. You know what I
You're
mean?
just
Like
committed, man. Committed.
I'm just too stupid to quit. You know, you can call it whatever you want. You can call it stupid. You can call it committed. You can call it obsessed. Whatever label you want to throw on that.
Mhm.
I've seen guys come and go, and they're in the sport, they're out of the sport. Like I don't quit easily. You know what I mean? So I think there's value in that, not quitting, and just hanging around. You know what I mean? Like I don't go away. I'm not gonna go away, and that's just.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of value in that.
And just being there, dude, it presents opportunities that you could never have fathomed or dreamed about by just being there and showing the commitment and the passion to your grind.
And I'm not afraid to take opportunities. You know, I think a lot of these younger kids, like they're terrified to risk their record or risk losing. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not afraid to lose. I've been beat up in front of millions of people before. It does not bother me one bit.
You're a beast, dog.
Big part of it. So we have something. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the Ultimate Fighter as well, because in paintball we've talked about doing something like that for a long time to give amateur players, younger players, an opportunity to showcase their skills. Maybe you can televise something. It's exciting. It's an exciting thing. You know, you have people, especially the Ultimate Fighter is dope. You guys are all in these houses and then you have to fight each other. And, you know, at the end of the day, winners, we get paydays. But we have something called the Ultimate Shootout. And it's a one-on-one league. to where this just got created in 2020, right? A lot of things in paintball kind of sprouted because of COVID and the lockdowns and restrictions.
Yeah.
So the ultimate shootout is pretty cool. You can go and anybody can enter, and you can have a chance to compete against some of the top pros in the game, and you get all the way through. And if you win this one-on-one tournament, there's no guaranteed contract, but any pro team that's watching is gonna be like, you just beat who? Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, you're on our radar. Like, we're going to pick you up. Like, it's a pretty cool kind of opportunity. But the reason that I brought this up is because exactly what you said. A lot of people are afraid to go and put their record on the line, or, go and lose, because typically paintball is a team sport, And so when you bring it down to one-on-one, there's no one that you could blame, just yourself,
It's a different game, right? It's like ping pong and tennis, two completely different games.
Yeah.
Team and individual.
Yeah. It does. There is definitely a different game. There's a different element to it, but a lot of the same fundamentals in one-on-ones will showcase if you're going to be good at, 5-on-5 paintball as well. So it's about that mental tenacity to just be like, I'm going to go and do this. Why not? I'm going to work my ass off and go and show up. And if I lose, I'm going to come back again. Right?
Yeah, I've done that many times. Oh yeah, I tried out for the Ultimate Fighter 10 times.
Damn.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
Totally.
it's once again, man. I'm trying to tell you guys. Like, I feel like most people don't. Like, I'm not some anomaly. I'm not athletically gifted. I'm not smarter than the next guy. I work hard. I'm dedicated to my craft.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm just here every day.
Simple.
I'm literally in the gym right now. As soon as I get off with you guys, I'm going on those mats. Like, that's what I do every day.
Hell yeah.
That's inspiring, man. And what's some advice on how to carry yourself when you win or when you lose? Because a lot of people don't know how to handle that, especially in today's landscape.
Yeah, I mean, whenever
laugh or cry and back to work on Monday.
yeah. You get the weekend, right? But like, there's a slightly more technical answer, in my opinion, and that's study success habits. Like we talk about war tactics. War tactics are principle-based things that work in any type of combat situation, right? Paintball, MMA, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, these are all things that apply to some degree. Success habits, it's the same thing. Like, these are habits that people do of all successful people. And I have not always been like this. Like, I had somebody help me, really get through a lot of this stuff. And one of the success habits is make decisive decisions and get over adversity fast, right? And it's whenever I stopped trying to be myself and I started trying to be a successful person, like, it wasn't a thing of like, oh, I'm just not gonna, I'm gonna get over this quick. It's hard to do that. But when I started telling myself, well, successful people get over this fast. So if you don't get over this fast, you're not going to be successful. Whenever I started looking, I was like, whoa, when you start threatening my goal, it makes it a lot easier to make the decision. So study success habits. I mean, there's anybody that's successful has probably read the same 15 books. There's like Think and Grow Rich, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, How to Win Friends and Influence People. These are all the same shit that, if you haven't read any of those three books changed my life. But those are the Bibles.
3 great books.
Of
3 great
success.
books, man.
Yeah, I mean, you can't principle-based ideas that apply to anything that you're doing that all successful people do.
Absolutely. And mentors, like you hit on as well. Finding a good mentor, someone that's been through your struggles, that can help you to navigate these waters that you might be in,
And a mentor, guys, like, that doesn't even have to be somebody that you talk to on a regular basis.
Right.
Like, you like do what they do. If that person has failure and they get over it quick, you want to be like that person. Do what that person does. The art of emulation, I can't tell you, is such a key component to all of this stuff. Like, do what that person's doing. You know what I mean? Like, if I want to be as good if I want to be good at paintball, the first thing I'm going to do is watch videos of you guys and do the same motions. I'm going to do the same leans. I'm going to switch. I'm going to do all the same shit that you guys do, because I know you're good and I know I'm not good, and I want to be where you're at. So I'm going to do the things that you're going to do to get to that point.
Boom, dude. Point blank. Just drop the mic.
Who are some mentors that you had in your life growing up, either close by or near?
I had one mentor that helped me a lot whenever I was probably 25, 26, 27. And it just helped me organize all of this stuff and really change my life. But I would say the majority of my mentors are people not doing the right things. I did not have a good upbringing. You know, I haven't talked to my mom in probably 7 years. I haven't seen her in 7 years. You know what I mean? Like I've learned you can learn in multiple ways. There's what to do and what not to do. I've had a ton of mentors on what not to do. And I just do the opposite. If I don't want to be like that person, I do the opposite of what they do. So that has been a lot of my success, is just doing the opposite of what unsuccessful people do.
That's potent,
so
man.
smart.
That's potent. Yeah, because a lot of people face adversity in life, right? It's just part of the game. It's just part of life, dude. And some people really struggle to find ways through it, you know. And you know, I've always said the successful people are truly the ones that just find ways around the obstacles. You know, some people get stuck at them, and you know, you said it in a really beautiful way, actually, and it was, how long is it going to take me to get over something? Well, that's an obstacle, right? How quick are you going to get around it? Are you going to sit there for 3 months looking around, waiting for someone to come tell you, hey, you just got to take 4 steps to the left and then go forward, you know, or are you going to just do that on your own? You know, that's important shit right there. 100%.
But you know, you're going to get over it.
Yeah, totally. Right? Exactly.
So why not do it now?
Yeah. 100%.
Why not move on?
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, why waste the time? It just doesn't, it drives me nuts when people do that. I mean,
well, I think unfortunately, a lot of people don't know and don't understand that they are going to get over it. I think that's a real thing, right? Like they either haven't experienced that in their life yet, where they did get over something, or they don't have the wherewithal to recognize that, hey, I've been through something like this before and I did get over it eventually. Let's just speed that shit up. No, let's just speed that shit up.
If they don't know, it's because they don't want to know.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? Like, dude, all the information in the world is there. Like, everybody's had adversity. And it does, when I say adversity, I'm not saying like, you know, it doesn't have to be a catastrophic event, right? Your tire's flat. Well, you can bitch about your tire being flat, or you can get out and change the damn thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's how you do anything is how you do everything. So like, if they don't want to know, if they don't know, it's because they don't want to know. All the information in the world is available at your fingertips. And that's, you know what I mean? Like, I do these, every Sunday I do these little financial questions, and it's like, people ask me, I get and I hate to say this, but it's so damn true. The majority of people ask me the dumbest shit ever. Like, how do I invest in Bitcoin? Take that same fucking thing, Google, type it in fucking Google, and there's your answer. You know what I mean? Like, if I don't know something, I may not say it. Like, if you say something, you say a word that I don't know, I may be like, yeah. And in my brain, I'm like,
100%. For all the listeners, he's over there on his phone right there.
But like, you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to throw shade at these people, but like, fuck, man, like, I'm not going to answer that question 14 times a day. You know, and it's probably more like 47 times a day. If
first like, Google, second download Coinbase, put it in there.
Yes. Oh shit. Easy. I mean, God, I mean, I don't know how many times I can answer the same 4 questions over and over. Like, fucking do it. And like, I get some guys,
I love that.
It's so frustrating. Fucking, just do it. Google it. If you want to know, fucking know. You know what I mean? Like, and how do you think I found out? I got on fucking YouTube like anybody else. I got on Google. Like, nobody has taught me any of this shit. Like, I know, you know how I got into real estate? I know that 90% of all millionaires created are into real estate.
That's right.
So I said, I need to be in real estate.
100%.
How do I get into fucking real estate?
Straight
up. What does that look like? How can I do it with little to no money down? How can I do it with money? And then I learn all things real estate. I obsess over real estate. And then now I start to know. I do my first deal, and then I learn. I fuck that deal up. Okay, cool. Sell that. Next one. Don't do that shit again. And it's like, it's how do you get into paintball?
Boom.
There's the first place. Okay. And then I got this busted ass gun that cost me the match. Go buy a fucking gun. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a progression in this.
Out.
And people just don't understand.
They're not hungry.
It drives me nuts. No, they're uninspired. You know what I mean? Like, it's everybody brings something unique to the table. Everyone. It's not that you're just uninspired. You're not doing the right thing. If you have to ask me, you know what I mean? Like, if you're looking for what's the quickest way I can make $1, well, that's the quickest way to lose $1.
That's right.
Like, there's no shortcuts in this game of life.
Yeah.
Like, how long have you guys been doing paintball?
20 years.
20 years. Yeah, exactly. That's right.
Yeah, long
Ain't no
time.
team coming in off the couch beating y'all. It ain't
No.
happening. You know what I mean? That's not happening.
we
You guys
see
are
that.
dedicated. You guys are dedicated 20 years to your craft. It's not fucking happening. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
right.
maybe a fluke here and there or whatever, but
Yeah.
it's not, you know what I mean? Like consistency is key, man. There's no way some young team is going to get off the couch and beat you guys consistently. It's not happening.
That's the key right there, is the consistency, is never giving up, you know? And dude, you're right. Just do it. That's all there is to it. What are you trying to do? Like, what are you going to do? You need to just do it. Find out a way, get online, do whatever you can do.
And you gotta be passionate about that shit. If you, man, I can imagine if a team got off the couch, like, and I'm sure it's happened where you guys lost to a team that you should. I've lost fights to guys that have no business to losing fight, and it fucking drives me fucking crazy. And like I lose sleep over that shit, and it's not. You know, I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure it not happens again. And listen, man, if you go and you keep putting yourself out there, you're gonna lose. That's part of life,
Totally.
right? Like losing is part of life.
Yes.
And there's no honor. There's nothing wrong in putting yourself out there and coming up short. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, when these guys ask me these fucking questions, it's like, God damn it, guys. Like, it's not you guys. You're asking me some of this shit. Like, you don't have a money problem.
I'm curious though. I am curious, and we kind of touched on the mentality of some of the younger fighters, and we talked about younger paintball players coming into it. I feel like a lot of this has to do with how we're parenting our kids these days. My
100%.
dad was 80 years old, so old school Italian dude. If I had a question, he would literally say, "Figure it the fuck out."
Figure it out.
Like, figure it out, you know. And that was his motto with me, and we had the best relationship, and loved him to death. Very fortunate, but he made me do shit on my own. You know, nowadays that's not a thing. I think a lot of these kids are really given almost too much, and it's disguised as love, which is great. You know, like I understand the intention might be love, but it's not helping. I think it's hurting. I really do. I think it's hurting in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I always say, if you had like if one of my fighters asked me a dumbass question, I say, if you had $1 million to figure this out, would you do it? And rest assured, 5 seconds later, they'll figure it out. My daughter, 5 years old, she doesn't understand what $1 million is. Honey, if I gave you 10 pieces of candy to figure out where you put your shoes, would you do it? I'll get 10 pieces of candy. No, but would you? And she goes and finds them. You know what I mean? It's like, man, if you wanted to know, you would. And that's the problem.
100%.
That's the problem with today's society. It's such a
instant.
What have you done for me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, old school is a dying breed. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, how old are you guys?
32.
32 and 30?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are right there with me. I'm 34. I feel like we're the last generation of the old school. Maybe?
Yeah, no,
like,
I hear you. 100%.
I didn't have the internet growing up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a thing really growing up. So I still played in the dirt and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like,
sir.
And kids these days have not experienced that. They don't experience it. It's a new age. It's a different era.
It is.
Yeah. And you know, those days are dying of the ones that are have like a blue collar work ethic still. You know what I mean? And it's not I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing, because now more than ever it's easier to become successful. There's more opportunity now, more so than ever. If you're not successful today, it's your own damn fault.
Yeah, that's true, man.
It's your own damn fault.
Yep.
You're right, because we're more connected with information than we have ever been. You know what I mean?
Dude, there's kids making millions of dollars on YouTube. That little fucking Ryan kid on YouTube that my daughter watched banked $30 million or $22 million this last year. There's a kid that won a Fortnite tournament for $62 million. Like, don't talk to me about you can't make money these days. Though you fucking become a millionaire playing video games. Like, it's easier now than it ever has been.
Dude, that's hilarious. And you're right, bro. You're so right. It's so true, man. It's so true.
Yeah.
You guys are fucking make money shooting people.
Playing paintball. Yeah. 100%. But
I get paid to hit people.
That's right. Yeah.
Totally. But at the same time, you have to figure out how to our sports are similar in that, like, this is something that we on the show often talk about to our listeners. You know, if you're trying to pursue a professional paintball career, you better be smart with your money. You got to do other stuff. You got to do other stuff. You got to look to get into real estate, look to start your own business, look to do something other than just play paintball, you know, try to
Dude, I gotta ask,
like whatever it is. Yeah.
I gotta ask, what's gonna happen with Bitcoin, bro? Please give me your advice, your input.
I think it'll hit 50 within the next 2 weeks.
Wow.
Are either one of you guys into it or no?
I have a little bit, but nothing great. So I'm kind of bummed. I back in, was it 2017 when it got up to 19? I did. Yeah. 100% I did. And I got into some other little coins and they haven't paid off. I've got some XRP right now. They're going through some issues. You know, Ripple.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a fan because I'm like, okay, if this blows up, at least I got in when it was like 18 cents a coin. You know, they got a little deal with American Express. That's nice, but missed the Bitcoin train.
I personally, no, I don't think you did.
Okay.
I personally think it'll, I mean, listen, whenever you get companies like JP Morgan and Citibank putting $350,000 and $600,000 evaluations on this, that means it's real. You know what I mean? Whenever you have Michael Saylor running a multi-$100 million business, transferring his entire business to Bitcoin, when the billionaires are getting involved, that means it's real.
Yeah.
And I have followed a guy that has been pretty spot on with his predictions from 2 years ago to now. Wow. And his prediction is it'll be 50 within the next 2 weeks. And it'll be a minimum of 125 by the end of the year. So I still personally think, now, if you're looking to get into it and pull it 6 weeks from now, it's not, don't do that. Don't do that. I tell my guys, get in it and delete the app. Like,
yeah, totally.
It's at least a year. If you want to make any type of real money, at least a year. You know what I mean? Yes. Like, I got into it not that long ago, to be honest with you, probably when it was 18,000.
Yeah.
I've doubled my money though since.
Yeah. So you don't
have over six figures in it.
You don't think it's hitting another one of the bubbles that it did back in 2008? I think it was 18. No. I forget the year. No. Okay.
And the reason
I think a huge thing is that I don't know if it's called software. I'm kind of an idiot when it comes to this stuff, but Lightning, are you familiar with Lightning? That is, it's a software that Bitcoin is taking over that allows them to send and receive transactions all over the world immediately for free. So I think the big issue with Bitcoin for a long time, correct me if I'm wrong, again, I don't know much about it, is that it takes a really long time for transactions to complete. That was like an old school instant now. I don't think it was.
Yeah, now it is.
Yeah, so I think that's because of this Lightning software that they're using. I forgot the name of the kid that invented it.
Dude, the thing is, obviously with even like COVID, let's take this year, for instance, COVID, nobody wants to be passing around dollar bills anymore because there's this connotation with it. So everything is going to move digital. It's just,
if I were to tell you this, so for me, don't look at it as a cryptocurrency, look at it, or a currency, however you want to chop it up, look at it as a technology. If I told you in the 90s when we had VHS tapes, if I said, hey, a few years from now, we're going to have this thing called a DVD player and it's going to be way more efficient. The quality is going to be way better. Yeah. Would you invest in VHS? Probably not, because this new technology is coming out. Mm-hmm. But if I said, and to me, we're talking about the dollar bill, right? Yeah. And that's VHS. And then the motion to DVD players would be like PayPal, Cash App, Venmo.
Yeah.
Right. And then if I said, hey, this DVD player is now going to be irrelevant. It's going to be all digital. You'll be able to stream it straight from your TV.
Yeah.
Which now would be Bitcoin, Ethereum. There's this digital currency. Yeah. And so if I were to tell you that, hey, let's invest in VHS, then I know Netflix and Hulu and that shit's coming soon. So don't look at it as investing in a currency. Look at it as investing in a far more superior, efficient technology is what really sold me on it. And the facts are, I'm not even really investing on a cryptocurrency. I'm investing against the US dollar. Yeah. The facts are the US dollar is devalued over 50% in the last 20 years, especially what's going on with the presidency. Like, man, there needs to be some type of decentralized universal form of currency. There isn't one. And I feel like we got close with PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, but now this is even more secure. And I don't think it'll take over the US dollar. I think it'll be a commodity like gold. You know, I think it'll be a way to transfer money rapidly, and the US dollar will always be there.
Of
but
course.
right now, if you're putting your money in savings, 2019 inflation rate was 1.9%.
You're losing money if you're keeping your money in the bank, dude.
Losing money if it's in the bank. 1,000%. I'm glad you said it before me. That's where 100%. I was about to go. So for me, I would rather put it in Bitcoin right now, to where I know it's going to go up. It'll never hit that dip again like it did before. And the reason why is because the billionaires' money is getting behind it. The bank's money is getting behind it. JP Morgan and Citibank put a valuation on your. Don't tell me that they're putting a valuation on it and they're not in it. Come on. You know what I mean? Like whenever you see $100 million transactions happening between billionaires on Bitcoin, that tells me that it's coming. It's not going anywhere. You know, so the billionaires are involved now. What's the golden rule? Follow the money.
Yeah.
If you follow the money, it's telling me right now that the future's in Bitcoin when billionaires start getting involved. Those guys know information far before we do, and they're all getting in it right now.
Just at some point, they're going to be in some sort of war with the different governments, because obviously the government's not going to just relinquish power to the currency that is the common currency that's used. So it's going to be,
how can they regulate it?
Yeah.
It's a decentralized form. They can't, I agree with you. They're going to try, but there's no way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're going to block it from the internet. I mean, dude, there's countries like in Malaysia right now. In Malaysia right now, you can pull all of your money. If you buy a home in Malaysia, you can go put all of your money in crypto, move to Malaysia or go to Malaysia, cash out, tax-free.
Whoa. Crazy.
Tax-free.
Very crazy. Real quick too, because I love this conversation. I would like to continue, but I don't know if we need to put some sort of disclaimer that we're not experts in this and we're not advising anyone to go and do anything with their money. I don't know if that's a thing, but I love this conversation. So in Malaysia, you can do that and just completely tax-free.
Tax-free. Mm-hmm. Tax-free.
Wow. Interesting.
That's interesting, man.
I mean, it's going to be so hard. That's the reason, because it's not centralized, right? Like there's nobody overseeing it. And with gold, even though gold is a physical commodity, but what you're seeing with gold is the governments are manipulating the price of gold, right? So like they can kind of manipulate, they can pull back, they can control the supply and demand, and there's no cap to gold, right? Like if they I know it's harder to find, but if you spend more money, you can find more gold, right? Dig in the ocean or whatever, you can find more gold. There will be a cap on Bitcoin. By the year 2140, all of it will be in circulation. So there is a cap on it. And for that reason,
that's why the numbers are going high, right?
Exactly. Where Ethereum, so cool. There is no cap. So the Ethereum price per coin will never be as high as Bitcoin, but the potential for Ethereum is much bigger because there's no cap. Ethereum would be like a dollar bill. It's like a digital dollar bill with a chip in it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Wow. So interesting, man. Thank you for shedding light on that. And I don't know if you have to go. We are at about the hour mark. I know you were on a little bit of a time constraint, but I think we do have a couple more questions for you. If that's
let's go.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a little curious with real estate. What do you got going on in the real estate department?
To me, real estate's a financial cheat code. In any other circumstance, can I get somebody else to pay my bills for me? If I said, "Hey, bro, you're gonna pay my car payment," you're like, "Fuck no, I'm not."
Yeah.
But with houses, you for sure can, and you will. You know,
generate some cash flow on top of it as well.
Yeah, 100%. So right now, I think I have including my own house. I don't know if people include their own house with that or not. I think I'm at 14 doors.
Nice.
I think 2 Airbnbs, some a couple multi-units, triplex, duplex, and the rest are single family.
Is everything in your area? Do you do anything out of market?
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah, in your area.
Nope. And I'm not opposed to that. I like to get eyes on it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's tough. You have to have a really good property manager if you're gonna do anything out of market, and you have to trust that. Yeah. It's like.
Yeah, and I just if I did that, I would do that with somebody that's in that area. Mm-hmm. The only other thing that I would do would be like a vacation rental. You know what I mean? Like if I did the Airbnbs, I do them, but man, it's sometimes it creates a lot of stress. So like I've kind of pulled back a little bit from them. I'm selling one of them, and then the other one I'm kind of debating right now. It does so good though financially. It netted last year like 48.5 net.
Yeah, nice.
One property. So
there we go.
It's hard to turn that down, but I have so much shit going on that it gets a little stressful for me. So I'm looking at a property manager for that right now. But the rest of them I manage myself. it's a great opportunity for me. It's kind of a double whammy because I have fighters coming in and out that need places to stay.
Oh yeah. Huh.
And I have fighters moving here all the time. So like, it's easy for me to create housing for them. Yeah. It works really well for me. So,
Wow.
I really like it, man. And every time I pick up a property, I look at it as a part-time job.
Yeah.
Right. And, if you buy your own home, it's an asset, but they dock it against you because it knocks off your pay. But every time you buy a rental, it's the opposite. It's more income coming in.
Correct.
It's more, they have more leverage.
Yeah,
You're creating leverage to buy against something else or whatever.
Wow.
And the more leverage you have, the more capital you can get.
That's right. Wow. That's really, really interesting stuff, man. Yeah. You got
And
to
it's about to be crazy with the market, man. I feel like the US is gonna turn to kind of more of a European idea where it's more socially acceptable to rent.
Mm-hmm.
And I really feel like people that are holding, I'm telling you, man, in the next year, 12, 24 months, I really do feel like you're going to see a large percentage of the population pull to rent rather than own their own home, just because of the pandemic. And I feel like a lot of people are going to, at some point the bubble is going to burst, right? Like the rates are so low right now, but the jobs aren't there anymore, and the middle class is going to be outbid by the upper class that have expendable money to buy real estate. And I think it's going to hit hard here pretty soon. And the people with assets, with houses, are going to make a killing.
Yeah,
totally agree.
You're not wrong, dude. Absolutely. Man, that's so insightful. What's some of the biggest hurdles that you have to jump doing this whole thing? And you must be just working full tilt, dude, just nonstop.
Yeah, I don't ever stop working, man. But when I say work, I love what I do. And if you guys don't love it, don't do it. You know what I mean? Like that's fine. It's why we talked about this earlier. It's not like you're not motivated, you're uninspired. There's a difference, find what you love to do and do that. But the biggest hurdles,
probably just managing the people,
I don't have much of a problem with it.
Yeah.
The majority of my tenants are people that I know. Most of them I can control their paychecks anyway. So I like to help my own people.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And I don't mean that like, oh, hey, I'll take your shit.
No, but
you know
you're
what I mean?
helping.
Like, that's not,
yeah,
I do this.
You have a community. You have a
people.
community that you're, again,
100%.
talk about stuff that's encoded in your DNA, man.
Community.
Having community and being able to take care of your people that are close to you and dear to you.
That's right.
Yeah, I have employees, I have fighters, you know what I mean? Like I have guys that I want here and I want them to be comfortable in.
Yeah.
And man, like I like to help the people around me because they're gonna help me. You know what I mean?
Right.
The quickest way to accomplish your goals is to help somebody else accomplish theirs first.
Dude, that's amazing, man. And that's what it's all about. And they appreciate that. That comes full circle. Like you said, it comes full circle. When you're helping the community, the community is going to help you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How did you get into your first investment property? Because I know for a lot of listeners, that's something that, they might aspire to do, but they have no idea how much money they might need to save, what they need to do, how their credit needs to look, anything like that.
My first one was a fourplex. It was the absolute worst investment property I've ever owned in my life. I bought it and all the utilities they weren't separated. So they were all in my name. So I had people, running up the electric bill or whatever. But the real answer is obviously you need good credit. And there's a couple ways to look at it. Typically, if you're doing an investment property, you already own your own home, you're doing an investment property, you would need 20% down ish, 15 to 25%, depending on where you're going down. But there's a thing that you could do. It's called house hacking, to where you can buy a multi-unit, live in one of the units for a year, and you would get a normal 3.5 or less, 1 to 3.5% down. And you would be able to get that with little money down. A year after that, you can move out and do that again.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, so
which is a major, we're talking a difference between like 10,000 down and 60,000 down,
not even 10 usually, you know what I mean? Depending on where you live, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Depending on where you live.
Yeah,
where I live, it's not,
Gotcha.
That's
if you're in Arizona, it's different.
Yeah.
California, it's different.
Sure. But that's a major hack right there.
Huge.
To
be able to do something like that. And that's,
if I was single, that's what I would do.
That's the unfortunate thing, is that there's just so much that people from lower income homes and families and backgrounds, they typically just they're not aware of what to do with their money and how to maneuver. And it's a shame, because get on Google. I like that. I like 100% teach yourself. Figure it out, because there are ways to make shit happen. There really are. There really,
Listen,
really are.
this is the one thing I focused on this like 2 years ago, is like, it's not about, there's shortcuts for everything, everything, right? Like there's a shortcut somewhere and you got to find it, right? Like every process, like I can't think of any right now, but there's for example, if you get a speeding ticket, I know a lawyer that gives me a great discount. Like I don't, you know what I mean? Like I don't have to deal with that. I give it to him, pay him like $100 and it's done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's one shortcut of many.
Right.
But like when you get into real estate, the lending part is the amazing shortcut. Like it's not about, it's a game, right? Like it's a game, and you gotta understand how to play the game. And but the only way you can do that is by, you know, looking it up and getting involved and being a part of that process. You know what I mean? And so it's like people just, once again, if you don't know, it's because you don't want to know. You have to, you gotta get
this information's out there. This information's out there. If you want it, you can buy books, you can read books, you can hop online, you can do it for free. Like you can figure this shit out. I know, because
if you want to hit
myself.
home runs, you got to get on the plate, man.
100%.
That's it.
Yeah.
You got to step up
Facts.
to get them.
Hell yeah.
That's what it's all about, man. Dude, that's insane. And, you know, once again, I'm not a professional on this. So
I'm not either.
Disclaimer.
That's what's great about it, is you don't have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, just like you said, you know, your first was a fourplex that didn't work out, was the worst investment you had. But it's funny because you made that analogy earlier on that, dude, just try shit. And when it doesn't work, you learn from it, figure it out, you move on to the next. Yep. You have a short turnaround time, you get over it quick, and boom, guess what? You're that much more, your IQ has been raised in that field because you had that experience. For people out there, for listeners, that's so invaluable. You have to try. You have to not be afraid to step up to the plate, swing at the ball. If you miss, you're going to be able to adjust. That's it, period.
Yeah, and you said it, you keep saying this, you just got to do it. And I feel like a lot of people sit on YouTube too much. You know what I mean? And they're getting too much information. Like at some point, man, you can go up to the plate. You can go up to the plate, not swinging a single pitch.
Yeah.
Just
waiting for the perfect pitch.
Yeah.
Nah, just start swinging, man. Yeah. Start swinging. If you want to hit bombs out of the park, you got to swing.
Swing.
You know what I mean? Like you got to swing hard.
That's the motto for this show right here. Swing hard, man. You got to be going for it. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Well, shit, man. I know I only have one more question, brother. Again, I know you want to get on those mats and start training so you can continue to be the best at what you do. But for our young athletes, for our up and comers, man, what kind of advice do you have for an athlete that's trying to reach the highest levels in whatever they do?
Paintball?
Whatever it is, my man.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it doesn't really matter what it is, right? It's what is the mastery is 10,000 hours in your craft, right? Like start working towards your 10,000 hours. And I know people have like, you know, like, oh, I work this and I work, like how important it is. Well, first of all, start reading the books.
Yeah.
Start reading it. If you're not where you want to be, start reading the books. Like that's it.
Yeah.
It's not about opinion. Like it's not what you think. If you read these books and you do what these other people are doing, if you do what the successful people do, you will be successful.
Yeah.
And like for me, the first investment, people ask me about investment, dude, like the first investment is always yourself. Like invest more in yourself, you know, invest in books, invest in hours, and invest your time into YouTube, invest in anything that you can to learn about your field. Paintball, like let's just use paintball. This is a paintball podcast. Let's talk about it. Like
I love it. All right.
What are the best guns? Like what are the best guns for attacking? You know, is there a different type of gun for defending? I'm guessing you always want to attack with a gun. You're not defending with a gun. But like what are the layouts? What are the typical layouts? What is the lingo?
Yeah.
Like what type of shape do I need to be in? What are the plays? Like what makes the best quarterbacks? Play calling, like understanding strategy, the proper equipment, like where do I get started? Like just obsess over all things paintball, and you'll start to, and that'll get you started. And then you got to go play paintball, right? Like you got to have, I'm assuming that there's better quality guns, better quality paintballs, better quality, all that 100%. Shit matters, right? And like as you start to build up, you'll start to find your own little niche, you know, like I'm a better attacker than I am. I don't know the different positions, whatever.
Yeah,
like,
you said you kind of lay back. Man.
You know?
There's back, mid, and front. We call them 1, 2s, and 3s, you know?
Yeah. Like I prefer to be aggressive, or I prefer to sit back and lead more. I prefer, you know what I mean? Like everybody does this and then as you get into it, it kind of levels up. Then you'll understand to start reading what's going on in the field, right? You'll understand what's happening as a whole, not right here through your lens. You'll understand as the field. You'll start to be able to read people. You'll start to be able to see how the match is playing out. Like as you dive in, there's levels to it, and just keep going with that. Like you got to master your craft. 10,000 hours, man.
That's right. My takeaway from that, James, and you know, really well said for someone that doesn't know paintball at all, right? And it just is a true testament to what it takes to succeed. And you've obviously done that in your craft and outside of your main profession. It seems like you've done very well for yourself in investing, real estate, fighting, anything that you set your mind to, right? And it comes down to one simple thing. It's the details at the smallest level. People like to skip.
I obsess.
You can't. You have to obsess over all that shit, man. Every little detail that you make it as perfect as possible, so it comes together and creates this grander picture that is what the best of the best in anything do. You know, if it's business, they're looking at their budget. How much should I spend this week? How much should I bring in? Okay, I have X amount of money to work with. Well, next week I'm going to spend a little less, you know, so that I can have a little more to work with. And it's with everything. You have to pay attention to details. You can't gloss over all of the stuff and just think that you're going to get there. You have to have your eyes open. You have to pay attention. You have to do the work.
Yep.
100%.
I'll add one more thing on top of it.
Yeah.
Is if there's anything that I've said or you guys have said that people listening that you're not quite sure or you don't understand, feel free to reach out so I can tell you to fucking Google it.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah, James. Let's go, dude.
That's what's up.
Yeah, everybody just keep swinging, man. Keep swinging that bat and don't just watch the balls go by. Obsess over your craft and do everything within your power to make yourself the best version of yourself. Go and attack life. You know, that's what it's all about.
Let's go.
Let's go, dude. Hey, man, it's been a tremendous honor having you on the show. Thank you so much for stopping by the Play the Game podcast. And huge shout out to you and everything you're doing. Good luck in all your fights, brother.
100%. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it a ton. I had a blast, man. Thank you, guys.
Hell yeah.
James, where can everybody follow you and keep up with everything you're doing?
Instagram is probably the one I'm most active on, the James Krause.
All right. There we go, everybody. You guys should. The James Krause. Yeah, everybody. Krause.
Krause.
Yeah.
Is that not what I said?
You said
my bad. Okay. Glad we cleared that up. Everybody, I've been following him for a little bit now and tons of informative stuff on there. So thank you, man. It's a pleasure. Thank you for coming on the show. We're going to have to get you out to the paintball field very soon, brother.
Let's go. Let me know when. I'm there.
All right, dude.
Yeah. Awesome.
Sure. All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
That was epic. What a great conversation with James. I'm truly blessed that we had this opportunity and this platform to have a conversation with him. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys would like to support the show, please head over to ptgpaintball.com. You can see some of our merch on there. We do have our Patreon. We're in the middle of revising that, so bear with us as we are rolling out our new tiers and new platforms to bring you guys the best benefits around. And major shout out to Rusty Glaze from Constant Pursuit for designing our website. He does great work. You guys could head over and check him out if you need a website done. He is your guy. All right, PTG fam, again, we thank you guys so much. We're very blessed to have you guys tuning in with us each and every week. We look forward to bringing you guys better and better guests as the show goes on. We'll see you soon.